Hi everyone, Helen here from
Hello.
Alternative. So nice to see you all.
Yes,
Hello.
good to see
Hi.
you.
I just want to say I loved this movie. I think as a female, I really appreciated it. It was messy in the best ways possible. So thank you for that. That was a great watch. I want to start off with you quickly, Isabel. Like what for a debut, for your debut, like how did you write this? Like what? Like how does your mind think about this?
Thank you, first of all. Well, I had this traumatizing girls' trip to Joshua Tree that we ended up in this crazy car chase on the Joshua Tree freeway,
Oh.
in the middle of the night where they were trying to crash into the car, and it was this really traumatizing experience. The best way to reference what happened was like the scene in Nocturnal Animals when they're in the car and doing, their thing. And then I went to a crazy party school. Like kind of was raised by this like frat culture almost. And,
Mm,
I was just thinking about me and my friends and how we were just like stuck in these weird party rituals. And I
mhm.
wanted to find a way to like marry those two stories, and I was like, this is an
Mhm.
interesting way to bring this to life. So that's sort of how it all got cooking.
Yeah, I could see that. And I'm just wondering, maybe starting with Chloe, like what drove you to this kind of role? I'm just curious in this kind of movie with such like I don't even know how to describe it. Like when you first got this script, what made you want to be part of it?
What made me want to be part of it was that it was told from the female perspective and that it
Right.
included a lot of sexuality, but it was all told from the female perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, Bella, what about you?
I mean, so many reasons. I hadn't, I remember feeling like I hadn't read a script this good in a long time. I read a lot of scripts and sometimes they just pile on up there. And yeah, not a lot of interesting, totally authentic, different material out there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna second what Chloe said as well, being from the female perspective. I felt unclothed
Mm.
after I was done reading the script, and I was on a plane, so I felt unclothed in a very big plane of people. And I knew that I wanted to be involved from that feeling because that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. Sophia, I'd love to hear your thoughts too.
Well, I met with Isabel like in the early stage and I really liked her. And that was really, yeah, I mean, I loved the scripts. I loved, like the story and the character. And then yeah, that kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah, I also have a question. I'm Bella, you're the only one who was involved in this scene, and Isabel, you were there, but like, will you ever be able to look at scissors the same way ever again? Because I know I won't after watching this. Yeah,
I'm
scissors I think
thinking,
have
what else
changed.
can scissors do? I'm like, ooh.
The limbs can be cut off.
Yeah, I'd love to know about that scene, please.
But it
I
was
wasn't
super
there.
fun to film. Poor Jake, he was the one who had to be tied down for hours. But I'll tell you, in maybe six of my projects, I've had to be tied down for hours because, it's a normal thing for girls to do. So I was stoked that he was there and I also felt for him. So I just ended up by his side. I was just sitting on the pool table there, just chilling with him because, when you set up and stuff, it's too much work to take him out of the ties and to reset the what's happening down there. So he was just there with a you know with a fake penis out and feeling all emotional and it was a lot of fun. Now I do know that the attachment was so enlarged
Oh yeah,
that we had
that
to
was
bring it
a
back,
problem.
make it smaller.
To go
That
with
was
the
that
theme.
ended up being a VFX thing, by the
Yeah,
way.
Oh,
our,
really? I
our, our
couldn't tell.
visual
I couldn't
effects artists
tell.
had fun. All right. I don't know if they were like, man, this is what I would like, or, what they were really getting at there, but they definitely had fun making that prosthetic.
I'd also love to know from like whoever wants to jump in first, but like I love the obviously it's about like toxicity and through the female eyes and how toxicity male and frat culture, but also toxic female friendship was a huge thing that
Mm.
I picked up from this. I'd love to know, I don't know who wants to start, but like was that also a driving force for you when you were filming this as well, thinking about that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would use the word messy and complicated
Messy as well, yeah.
personally, but yeah, I understand. Obviously, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. I just think, especially in those environments, we're taught to be a certain way, and we're kind of taught to brush things off and blame ourselves, or just not mention things for the sake of, not ruffling feathers. And I think we just have this sort of ingrained way of thinking and behaving, and we project that onto each other sometimes.
Yeah.
And especially, in those environments. But I think that was really what I was trying to explore too. You know what I mean? Like in this umbrella of like this constant party. I went to like a crazy party school, and like it almost feels like a bubble. You know what I mean? And in like the way people behave is like it seems so crazy that this is real, and I took a lot of that and I pulled it into the script.
And we can't forget the lovely toxic competition between genders, male,
Yes.
female, matriarchy versus patriarchy, which will, you know,
Yeah, go on.
which will prevail at the end of the day. Like, are women better leaders? Are males better leaders? Like, that's the age-old question. That's what we're always trying to like prove,
Definitely. No, yeah. And I'd love to know the party scenes, the yacht before and there's party scenes coming out. Were those done before or after these more intense scenes? Because I'm just thinking about as a viewer, like you're watching this great time and something's going to happen. You just don't know what. And then it just like completely goes off the cliff and like craziness. So I'm just wondering from like an actor's point of view, like, did you start with the fun stuff and then get into that?
The last thing we shot was the yacht scene. We shot that
really?
actually like it was like we finished shooting everything in the desert, and then like 2 weeks later we like shot something in like the marina or something like near LA where they could have a yacht, and that was the last thing that we shot. And we spent like a few days on that yacht, and also that yacht was freezing cold, and we had to pretend that it was like super warm summertime, and I hope it reads as such.
It did. I got those summer vibes.
Okay, good. And yeah, that was the last thing we shot, but it was so fun to be on that yacht because like we just kind of ended up like all just joking around together, and like even though we weren't actually like drinking or anything, like we couldn't help but just like hang and vibe and just joke and have laughs together. So it was actually like really fun shooting that. Like it kind of felt like I was at a real party.
Yeah. And how were the most like Sophia, I'd love to know about that mushroom trip scene at the desert. I think it's a good PSA to not do that. I'd love to know how that. I was so nervous the whole time because I knew something bad was going to happen. And I don't think mushrooms and deserts go. So what was that like?
Everyone's like, be in nature when you do shrooms. Like, you got to be in nature. And sometimes I've heard people say like, be alone. Like you don't want to be around people because like you never know, you could mess up each other's trips. But it's like, no, be inside, be with the people you love the most, and like like get comfortable. Because if you're like, the last thing you want to do is get lost on shrooms.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do.
And also, Bella, your character was the most frustrating to watch for me.
Me too.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me who read that.
Like, Izabel, why? You really think I'm like this? Like, why? This is how you see me, girl.
You're
like,
the opposite. By the way, you are the opposite of that. You're just a really good actress.
I think you represent a lot of people that we know. Though I think it's realistic. Though a lot of people are like that. I was like that in my early 20s. I'm sure. I don't want to think about those days, but I would just love to know. Just love to know about how you had to like compartmentalize going from this like party girl doesn't care and then really getting into serious like you're in trouble zone.
Yeah, it was an interesting transition for sure. Having two very dynamic different things, in one person. I think the hardest part for me was finding any sort of like for Lavinia. I just disliked her so much, and it took Izabel quite a few conversations with me explaining where she was coming from when writing her. And in some of these different dialogue pieces, what they're truly touching on a little bit of a deeper level. And that was incredibly helpful, and once I was kind of able to change my brain around on who she was, then I was able to give her like some like sass and the issue too, trying to still make her likable. You know, we all have that kind of like, I have a best, like, I wouldn't say she's my best friend, but I have a very close friend who I'm like, sometimes, girl, you too much for me though. Like you say some crazy things and you're not that nice. You're a little like, you know, but I also like love you. And I like love how bitchy you are. And I love how like, I love a feisty woman. That's like so my type. So yeah, finding that balance and then still trying to carry that through being like, holy fuck, we're gonna die. And with the realism, still there's like a little bit of comedic there when you don't play it, you know, when you're so scared, but it's also ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know that I answered your question. I'm sorry.
You did. I think I got into your mind well. So good job. I understood it. Yeah, we have to wrap up, unfortunately, but I really enjoyed talking to all of you, and everyone's gonna be able to see Find Your Friends on June 12th on Shudder. And thank you all so much. And Chloe,
thanks for having
us. Love you on Euphoria. Amazing.
Thank you.
Faye is like
Faye's
unreal.
about to fucking blow it all up.
Okay, thank you all so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.